You're only a what if away from great holidays. Check out the deals at whatif.com. What if is Aussie for travel. It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. By the way, before we get started, you owe me for McDonald's. I paid for that last week.
I do.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me how much it was.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's also how I learned that McDonald's don't put their prices on their website.
Oh, that's right. You were saying.
Because I tried to work out how much I owed you for my hotcakes.
Your hotcakes.
First time I've ever bought
hotcakes
hotcakes from
yes,
McDonald's.
I think this was last week. We were having a day. What day was it last? I think it was a
I don't
Friday.
know.
Was it a Friday last week?
You know
We
what?
were all just sitting around just having a day when people listening to this would know. Sometimes you just get a day where you're like, the only way this day can start with any just great kind of feeling is with just a cheeky takeaway breakfast for some place that I'm going to regret later.
You know, but do you know what? I mean, I also realise there are people making better choices than us. Yesterday I was on the phone to my girlfriend and her child was in the background. Now, her daughter, I feel terrible that I can't think of her age, but let's say she's somewhere in the vicinity of 7, right?
Okay, yes.
7, 8. And I heard her say to her mum, she goes, "No, I'm off sugar today." And when I said, I think they are words that have never come out of my mouth, she said to me, "Yeah, my kids are really good. Like, I've told them whenever they're feeling sick, it's probably because they've had sugar. And so they are just voluntarily today, they'll be like, no, I'm not having sugar today because they know it makes them feel terrible."
The conversation's louder.
Who are these kids?
Well, our kids know that if they have any foods with like any sort of colouring in them, that they're probably going to have a day where their lids are about to pop off.
Yeah.
And they know that, you know.
But they don't care about those consequences. Your kids are like, let's pop off.
Consequences? Who gives a crap about consequences?
Just pouring red food colouring directly into their mouth.
Absolutely. How did you know? Hey, after 8 o'clock this morning, Ben Cousins is in. He's got another story to share of his storied life. The thing that I'm really excited about today is I get to show you the train cake that I made.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm dead keen for cake. I'm happy to have a sugar day today.
I don't know if you'll eat it.
Why?
I
Did
don't
you do
know
a
if you'll
bad
eat
job?
it. No. Did I do a bad job? I mean, we'll find out after 8 o'clock
It was
where you get to see it.
$97 worth of ingredients. It better be good.
So this was where we've been challenged to make some of the cakes from the Australian Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cake Book, and I copped the train this week. So all will be revealed after 8 o'clock, but I cannot wait to hear your voice the first time you get to lay eyes on it.
Great.
I'm very interested in seeing what happens.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
On Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins, it's yay or nay.
Oh, guten Morgen, producer Rami.
Happy Friday. I've got a couple of yay and nays here for you this morning. First one, having a cheeky gamble.
3, 2, 1.
Yay.
Nay,
You don't gamble at all?
not a gambler at all.
Like that.
Zero interest.
Pete, how often? No shame.
No, and none taken. I probably would be lucky to have a punt maybe once every 3 months.
And is it at the casino or like on other things as well?
No, the only other thing that I might take a punt on is footy.
Okay, cool.
But it might be just like Dockers to win or something
Yeah.
like that. But I'm not a gambler in the sense that, like, I've got mates that have syndicates and they put on like multis where they are literally watching the game and they've got like 4 different bets
Screens,
going on
yeah.
the same game with screens and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not that level.
Some people have to do that just to make the game moderately interesting.
That means Kim's going to get started soon. Well, I love this story, okay? So we all know Drake, all right? Canadian superstar, R&B guy. He has posted online how much he's spent in the last month on gambling. And
Okay.
I love the reason he's
Well, it's
done
all
this.
relative to income, right, though? So
Correct.
he would have much more spare
Correct. But of
change
course,
than
the
we.
numbers for us humble people, it's like, oh my God. But he's done this for a good reason. And the caption he posted with it was the other side of gambling. So that's not always about the winning and you got to be careful with what you're doing. But no one cares about that because the numbers are just insane. So in the last month, he has spent $192 million.
Shut up! What?
192 Australian
I'm also mortified that a guy with that bad of music has made that much money. I can't stand his music. It is not my bag at all.
That makes me feel sick.
That's how much he spent gambling.
Isn't that insane?
You know, I'm the one who's like, it's sports people earning the money that they, and artists earning the money, and it's just like, that's just commercial reality. I'm like, whatever, good luck to them. But even that makes me feel sick.
Literally. And
he's got the
do
money
you think
to
it's a
do
flex?
it.
It's absolutely a flex.
He's gone, oh, guys, be careful of your gambling.
Yeah.
Look at me, for example,
Yeah.
and the $192 million.
But in his world, I guess, his circle, that's a normal thing. Like,
Yeah,
it is
well,
a flex
that's-
for them.
yeah.
But I mean, and it's no BS, right? Because he showed screenshots of his portfolio, if you like. It's just, it blew me away.
Wow.
I can't go
Blown
over
I
that.
love him
online
even
world.
more.
Oh, yeah.
All right, second one. Dates should be paid for by both parties.
3, 2, 1.
This is like when you're
no.
first getting into dates, by the way, not when you're in a
Yay.
relationship.
Nay.
Oh, okay, deferring ones again.
Depends, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only saying nay because I'm not going to plant my flag on every scenario is a yay for that
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Yeah, because
It's tough.
it is tough.
I think it's whoever invites the other person out pays.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I just think be reasonable. People who complain because they take someone out for a 3-course dinner for their first date and then it doesn't go anywhere, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't take someone for dinner for your first date.
Yeah,
Go
Macca's
for a
is
coffee.
fine.
Go for a coffee. Go for a bit of cake. Go for
A bit of cake. I like that.
just
Bit of cake.
want
Just
some cake?
turn it down a bit, and
I
then you
made
don't
you a
have to
cake.
worry about the
Yeah.
whole awkward bill situation.
we did. Liz and I did Nando's for our first proper date.
Did she just
cute.
rock up
Yeah.
with you and your mates who were already throwing back a few chickens?
No. This was very
Can you
different.
Imagine
This was-
sitting across from Pete and just he's just ravaging a chicken.
Well,
I'm
I-
sure you did it in a really sexy way.
I was horrific. I was because I ordered a whole chicken.
Oh, God, of course you did.
I thought it'd be impressive.
Well,
Wow.
there's this new gross trend that has started. I'm going to move on that one.
I ate it too.
There's a new trend that started, guys, and it's quite gross.
Yeah.
It's called the gold digger test.
Okay, yep.
Okay. And this is angering a lot of people. Basically, guys take out girls on a date, and at the end of the date, like let's say a $100 bill comes out, and he goes, "Do you mind picking this up?" And then makes her pay for everything. And
It's a great way to not get a second date.
once she does, he goes, "Congratulations, you've passed the gold digger test."
Mate, congratulations, you'll
How
be single
gross.
forever.
Literally. What is wrong with young men?
Oh, it's pretty.
Also,
funny.
men carrying on about gold diggers. In my life, it's the women who make the money.
Yeah.
There are so many women out there with hobosexuals living in their houses.
Hobosexuals. I like that.
So enough of that rubbish.
Yeah. Oh.
Gold digger test.
Hey, speaking of new trends,
Yeah.
it's a Friday, and it's a Friday at about 6:41.
Oh, no, Kymba.
You know what? I've got a great idea. I've
Here
got
we
a
go.
fantastic idea about what we should do next.
I know what you're going to do.
This is a great idea.
On Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. What do you want to talk about?
No.
yeah.
Kymba did say it was a Friday thing.
I
did
said
say it
you
was
would
a fr-
only
you
get.
said-
I didn't say it was a Friday thing. I said you would only get away with it on a Friday.
I'm pretty confident the words were, it's a Friday thing. 13 10 60. This is the only time on any radio ever, anywhere, that you get to call up and go, this is what I want to talk about.
The
And it's-
last time you did this, we had a 9-year-old girl call up and say that bicycle riders needed to be registered.
And we had a 100-year-old call up and talk about superannuation.
And someone called to talk about superannuation. Like, I don't feel confident that just throwing it out there right now, 13 10 60, what do you want to talk about, is going to take us anywhere we want to go.
They called up and talked about what they want to talk about. I would say roaring success.
Make
So-
it interesting, though. Like, come on, guys.
Okay.
Call up and,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, a serious life-changing event.
Listen. Don't listen to them. Listen to me. It's about what
do you want
want
to talk about? It can be anything. 13 10 Pete, absolutely no one is calling.
13 10 60.
Not a single
No.
soul.
Regan's
13 10
calling.
60. They've had literally minutes to call.
All right, we'll take your call next.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
On Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. What do you want to talk about?
We do pick on Pete saying that this segment idea of just allowing listeners to call up and decide what they want to talk about is a little bit loose. But you have said, let the people talk, whatever they want.
Let the people talk.
I do notice that you did not accept the call from the person who has said they wanted to talk about financial assistance for the elderly, though.
Let the people talk about some things.
That's not what the segment's called.
No, I'm happy.
All right.
I'll tell you what, Rami, call her back.
Let's go. Sean?
All right, hang on. Here we go.
Sean?
Hello, Sean.
What do you want to talk about?
Good morning, guys. I want to talk about people coming in a couple minutes before closing.
Oh, yeah, jerk move.
There's nothing worse than on a Friday afternoon, 2 minutes to your close, someone walks in and decides to buy something.
Well, hang on a second.
It depends what you're selling.
If you're still open, you're still open, though. Like, if you, I know, if
Yeah.
they come, this is how and this is what we used to do when we ran the seafood shops. If someone came in at 4:58 on a Friday and was like, I want to fish and I need it gutted and cleaned and stuff, and we'd started cleaning the benches down, we would open the taps back up and we would do it because we'd look at the clock and go, well, it's not 5 o'clock
That is
yet.
good old-fashioned Karuli values, but
right.
that doesn't exist in this world anymore, Pete. And I'm with you, Sean. What kind of gear are you selling where they're rocking up 2 minutes before?
It's mainly car parts.
Yeah, see, that's not something you need immediately.
What are you talking about? But
No.
it's a car part. Or don't you just... Sean, do you install the car parts?
No, we do not install the car parts.
So someone comes in at 4:58
And
on
they've
a
just
Friday
gone, I
and
want
go,
a carbon fibre thing for...
you go, yes, okay, I just need to go get it off the shelf.
Most of the time it's not there. It's more ordering from our warehouse.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. It's the, can you please pay with card? And then they whip out cash.
Oh, okay. It's harder with cash.
Oh, yeah, I can't. It's just people.
Look, I
with
get
cash.
it. I think if you can get to a store earlier, let everybody not have to, deal with it at 2 minutes to 5 on a Friday. I think that's fair.
Mate, if you're
Marika.
open, you're open. Hang on, hello, Marika. What do you want to talk about, Marika?
Entitlement, how people these days, I work in the medical field, and if they're not getting appointments or what they want, like referrals, scripts or whatever, like literally when I was in GP, they would abuse you nearly every day, like you're getting yelled at.
Really?
It's nasty, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's horrific.
Oh, it's disgusting. Like there's no way in hell that I'd say that be like that to anyone.
I worked in healthcare for a while and I had trouble getting someone an appointment, and I told them that they couldn't be seen over Christmas because it was too busy, and they wanted a home visit. And I was like, I don't have anyone for a home visit.
Yeah.
And she said to me, I hope you and your family have a horrible Christmas.
Oh, my God.
And
Oh,
I
my
walked
God.
into my boss's office and said, I quit. I'm done. I don't have the compassion for these people anymore. They have absolutely drained it from me, and this is not an industry I can be in.
Well, I literally got out of GP because it was a daily thing. Like, I was just like, to the point where I just can't, I'm sick of being yelled at every day. Like,
Yeah,
and it's
rough.
not just once off, it's every day.
And people think they're the only ones because they think and I get it because they're up against it where they're trying to be heard.
You're probably seeing them at their worst as well.
Yeah.
Which doesn't
But
help.
poor Marika's on the other side of
I
that,
get
right?
it. I totally get it.
We've got to
It's
look after
ridiculous.
each other.
Good morning, Blair. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
No, I missed a bit of it this morning, but I want to know what is a golden loogie? Why would you call it a golden loogie? And what's it made of?
A golden loogie?
A golden loogie, yeah.
Do you
When I think of loogie, I think one of those giant gross spits, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mean logie?
Do you mean golden logie?
Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Could be.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. Best call wins. The best, the best, the best.
We want your best call about this. Basically, when have you carried on after an injury? Because I've made some poor choices in my life, Pete, but the good news is I've forgotten most of them.
Well, that's good. It means you can make them again.
Well, this is the thing. I'd forgotten, but I went recently to an appointment at my podiatrist. Shout out to Craig. Went out there, had an appointment, and they said, God, we haven't seen you in ages. We were just looking at your record, and it was just talking about the time that you had toe surgery, and then you decided it would be a good idea to go out clubbing, and then you ended up doing damage to your toes because everyone was standing on them on the dance floor,
Of course.
and you needed a bunch of codeine. And I was like, that doesn't sound like me. He's like, do you not remember that? And I was like, no, I don't. But
Do you not remember that? Was it anything to do with the codeine?
But you know what? It started to make me think, this is not my first rodeo.
Okay.
I broke my coccyx. In fact, it was the second time I'd broken my coccyx. And because I knew what the pain was like, it was actually my birthday and I was heading out to a party and we were all going to go out for the night. And I was like, I broke my coccyx. I fell down the stairs on the way getting into my outfit. And I
sort of like glanced over that very... down the stairs.
I was going downstairs to get dressed to go out and I slipped on the stairs in my socks.
Right.
And I fell down and I broke my coccyx and I felt it go, right? And because it wasn't the first time I'd broken it, I was like, I know what I've done.
Yeah.
My friend said, should we stay home? And I said, no, I know this pain. And after tomorrow, this is going to be exceptionally painful and I won't be able to be walking around for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think we should go out clubbing and make the most of it while I can.
Okay, so hang on a sec.
So
that's two stories in a row where it was like, no, we need to go out clubbing.
I just push through, man. I push through. Sometimes there are just things in life. It doesn't matter if you've hurt yourself. You've got to keep going.
Yeah.
Do you remember Captain Paul?
Oh, who doesn't
Fabulous
remember
Captain
the
Paul?
Captain Paul used to read out traffic and stuff on the show? Absolutely.
People still ask me how he is. He's doing great.
Yeah, that's good.
But he
Cap.
once came into work with a bandage on his hand, and when I asked him what happened, he said he had drilled through his hand. He was drilling a piece of plastic, holding it in his fingers, and it went through the plastic and into his hand and out the other side.
Oh, God.
And you know what he did?
The way that drill would have eaten the meat up.
Yeah, it was meat. And did he go to the hospital? No. He just reversed the drill and went and then pulled it out again.
Oh, that sounds like such a him thing.
Wrapped it in bandage and came to work and was like, I'm sure it's probably going to be fine. And I was going, I think you should seek medical attention. But he was just, I'm going to carry on. So 13 10 60, best call wins. We want to hear when you've hurt yourself, you've injured yourself and you've gone, no. Sue.
Hi, how you going?
Hi. You apparently did a whole day of work injured. So first off, what do you do for work?
I'm a cleaner.
Oh, God, okay. What did you do? How'd you hurt yourself?
I had a puppy fence up to stop the dogs going near the cars, and I was rushing to go to work because I always step over it, and this day I just walked straight through it, went down like a sack of potatoes, hit my head on my car, and so hubby come flying out and got me up, and I was really, really sore and said, sorry, got to go to work, so I did. And then I ended up finding out I'd fractured about 3 ribs.
Oh, Sue, my goodness.
And cleaning, that wouldn't have been easy. Like, when you think about how if your body's sore, just vacuuming and that kind of gear, so painful.
Absolutely. Hey, Robbie, hit us. So when did you carry on after an injury?
Yeah, truck accident. Had a sore shoulder 4 months later, and I said to the doctor, my shoulder's sore, and he said, here's an X-ray, and I'd broken 3 ribs off at the base of my spine and crushed 2 vertebrae.
Oh,
4 months.
Just pushing through.
Bloody hell.
Okay, Elise, you made your daughter push through a dance concert. What was her... These are the ones everyone feels bad about. What was her injury?
So the night before the concert, she kicked the couch.
Oh, yeah.
She kicked the couch.
It's okay. She kicked the leg of the couch.
Yep.
And I said, it's all right, you just got to push through. You've got dance concert, you've just got to do it. And then after the dance concert, her foot was all swollen and purple. It turned out she'd broken some of the bones in her foot.
Oh, no, Elise. But it's so tough because you just don't know when it comes to the kids. Hey, Stacey, now you forced someone to push through the injury. What happened?
Yes. So our wedding celebrant, he I actually don't know what the end diagnosis was. I think he had a heart issue and rang and said that he couldn't marry us, and I forced him.
Oh, Stacey. Oh, my God. Did this guy turn up like pale, emaciated?
He was white. His lips were blue. We got him a chair and said, just marry us.
Jeez, he sounds like he should have been on his way to hospital, Stace.
Stacey, how long?
Yes, he should have been, but we made him come to us first.
How long were you waiting to marry this man?
8 years.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay,
I could sense there was a push for some reason. Hey, Chet, tell us, what was the injury you got that you just pushed through on?
A group of us many years ago were playing bulldog football in the back garden. I got kicked in the knackers. So I got up and kept going, and didn't really notice anything. Then I went to the toilet and realised I split my testicles.
Oh.
Okay, I need...
like an actual split.
Yeah.
Hey,
split.
so
Yeah.
I'm really curious about this medical question. When you split them, do they just sort of fall out? Like, where do they? Like, and is that what happens? Like, what happens?
But when I looked down, I thought, that doesn't look right. Like, it looked like, when you hit a baseball too hard and it splits down the seam, that's what it looked like.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
We're sifting through the media haze to tell you what's trending.
What's trending? We turn to producer Brooke because I'm not on socials. I'm not following anything.
I do love a deep dive.
Tell us what you've got.
All right, so I've got 3 great stories for you today. And first one, Hugh Jackman. Tricky time for Hugh.
What's Hugh doing? I haven't heard much about Hugh.
Tricky time. Look, his ex has come out swinging, saying that, traumatic betrayal happened. He's now dating Sutton Foster, who's his co-star, and he was caught on the streets of New York City just this week where he had to literally hitchhike to get away from fans. So he's called a car over and basically, help, can I get in the car and get a lift with just a stranger?
Called a random car.
Yes. Have a listen to the audio.
Hello, brother. Where are you going?
So he's being swarmed.
Do you think that's real?
No, it is real.
Do you think that's just real random car?
The guy driving past is filming him, though. So
Really?
he's driving very slow because he's seen Hugh Jackman. He's filming him, and that's the guy he chose to get in the car with.
Isn't it funny that that's what you thought of? What I thought of was Hugh Jackman could do that because he's a man and it's okay to get in a car with a stranger.
That's very true.
The first thing I thought of was like, we have never been able to do that. I don't know anyone who can do that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like I get what you're saying, but also he's Hugh Jackman. So like he's pretty recognisable. So if I was driving down the street and I saw Hugh Jackman like being chased by a group of people, I might slow down and say, hey buddy, do you want to get in the car?
Yeah, but it's safe for him to get in the car.
Yeah.
Great story for that person, though. But do you know who would never get in the car with a stranger?
Who?
Mariah Carey.
Oh no.
Now, Mariah's...
Great segue by you, by the
thank
way.
you.
You know what? That's craft.
Oh, stop
Like,
it.
that is
Stop
radio
it.
craft. Well
Stop
done.
it, I'm blushing. Now, Mariah, I love Mariah. She's so extra. She's been in the UK for this event, and she just comes out with some pearlers, doesn't she? Have a listen. This interview is just, you can't believe the words are actually
This is
coming
a
out of her
recent
mouth.
interview?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's have a listen.
Is it true you don't acknowledge the passing of time?
That is true. What do you mean by that? I just don't believe in it.
What
Times and no clocks.
No.
No, just not
No.
into that.
Yeah, I don't let it go.
Do you celebrate your birthday?
I don't have a birthday, no.
But if we were to meet up later, how would we know when? It would just happen on Mariah's time. Oh,
Yeah, I would have somebody call you and figure it out.
That's fantastic.
I'm not surprised by this because there have been so many reports over the years of Mariah Carey making fans wait for gigs. They wait anywhere between half an hour to several hours. She has been notorious for not turning up on time. Like when she's here Fridays live, I'll be in the stands screaming, "Come on, Mariah!"
I don't care though. Pitbull, just bring Pitbull back out.
Right.
No, I love her. My favourite story about Mariah is the 100 kittens in her rider. So I'm really excited for what
100
will
kittens
be
in her rider.
We need some people to confirm this rider because
I
she's been
know.
talked about as this kind of diva for a very long time.
Yes, I know. Well, and the last story, okay, I'm very excited. Netflix, new season, America's Sweethearts. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Kymba, you loved it.
It's a great show.
It's so
I mean,
good.
it's a whole series of how to become a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader and how seriously they take it. And it's
Yeah.
intense. It's like, if you're too short, get out. If you don't fit in these shorts, get out. Like, it is
Brutal.
intense audition processes, and it was actually kind of scary to see what they have to go through.
Well, and they came out as well and said they get paid less than a Chick-fil-A worker. So they get $500 per game, but they're working full-time, then coming and doing like dancing from 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. every
Yeah.
night. But news just broke yesterday, 400% pay rise.
Oh, that's great.
So all the dancers...
So now they're getting $17 an hour. I mean, like, honestly, they dedicate their lives to this
Yes.
thing. It is, I've never seen anything like it,
Yeah.
where it is just about, you would rather be known as a Dallas cowboy cheerleader than be
I
able
suppose-
to pay your rent.
I don't know. For them, I suppose it is a way to getting to a place to be able to pay the rent at some point. It'd make them famous as hell, right? People would follow them on social media.
It's a short stint, though. You could be in and out in 2 years because your body is just ravaged by those high kicks.
The high kicks
The
are
high
intense.
Splits.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Season 2. Get amongst it.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
I've got to tell you about this great doco that I just saw. Unfortunately, around a very tragic incident, but a great doco I've just seen on Netflix.
What is it?
Astroworld. So, Astroworld, you might remember this story with Travis Scott, the American rapper.
I get those goosebumps every time.
So, Travis Scott has, known for putting on these huge events, and he's put on this huge festival, Astroworld Festival. It was in 2021 in Houston, Texas, and it was an incredible event that everybody was looking forward to, and then 10 people died.
At the event?
This is how excited everybody was about going.
Astroworld Fest was a concert that you didn't want to miss.
Here in Houston, we don't get a lot of festivals.
We were stoked.
Like, people are ready to party.
You talk to any high schooler in Houston, they're talking about this concert.
I just thought I had to be there.
We planned everything out, outfits, shades. There was a huge buzz about it. Let's go get it. It's about to go down.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Right, so what happened is everyone was going to this gig. It was an absolutely massive event, and Travis Scott had his own stage. There was a bunch of artists on, and then when Travis Scott came to perform, everybody went to that stage area to go and see the show, and they were jammed in like sardines, right? There were just so many thousands of people there because they stormed the gates. So suddenly, security had no idea how many people were actually in the festival grounds.
Right.
Because they all just jumped fences, pushed the fences down and stormed the place.
Pandemonium, okay.
And it meant that people were trapped in a crowd that they couldn't get out of. And so they absolutely could not move their bodies. They had no control over their feet because they were just being swept in the crowd. So if the crowd moved forward or backwards, everybody went together.
Jeez, they
And
sound like cattle.
It got really nasty.
And that's when it started getting pretty hectic.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't take a deep breath.
The music started playing and you just felt your whole body just move forward.
Became overwhelming real fast.
And then the wave comes back.
I fell on something. I fell on someone. Because people were falling on me.
It was crazy, man.
Well, that sounds horrific.
It was awful. They couldn't get ambulance, paramedics, anybody in because the crowd was so crushed together. 8 people died at the gig. 2 people died later in hospital in the following days. And it was from compressive asphyxiation, which is just everybody being so close together in that environment, nobody could breathe.
Yeah.
It was so horrific, and yet it's an amazing documentary because they explain and explore how it happened and how these people were trapped.
So if they're like, where are the people that are standing around, I don't know, security guards or whoever it happens to be, looking into the crowd going, geez, guys, this is dangerous, or that's happening, or people have started dying. And they're like, why wasn't the thing shut down?
The doco explains that there is literally footage of kids jumping up on the stage screaming, people are dying, stop the gig, stop the gig.
Oh, right.
And there's word that the organisers knew that it was happening and they didn't stop the show. And they let Travis continue to perform right through to the end of the night.
Jeez.
It is an amazing documentary that just shows how easily people's best day can turn into their worst.
Yeah.
It's Astroworld. It's on Netflix right now.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Benny's here.
So we've learnt a lot on Storytime with Ben Cousins so far, but there are a few things that Ben has flagged with us that we are absolutely not allowed to ask him. In fact, I have the list right here. Let's have a look. Okay, it says, do not ask Ben to show you his patented double-jointed legs over the head technique. I don't think we're going to want to see that anyway, so that's fine. Don't ask Ben about his 8-month residency in the Hard Rock Cafe as an Elvis impersonator. Okay, that's fine. Don't refer to Ben as Shangri-La Benny, lest ye wake the 1,000-year-old deity laying dormant in bed subconscious? Hey, Ben.
I kind of want to meet the demon.
Yeah, that's funny. At least
And
he's
also-
not calling me a fibber.
No, that's true. He did, Zach, who puts that little intro together for you, did accuse you last week of not actually making the wedding cake
Yeah, no,
at
he
Lisa and Josh's wedding last month.
Yeah. But guess what?
We
mate?
haven't gotten to the bottom of that story yet, have we?
We will. And we will. But you will have your chance to make a cake very, very soon.
Yeah, I've been following everything that's been happening.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit going
It's been
on.
a bit going on. It's been a
Plenty.
big week. Yeah.
Well, we are only a few moments away from seeing Pete's Choo-Choo train because the three of us are all doing a cake-off where we are actually going to be cooking cakes from the Australian Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cake Book.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were told to make the Choo-Choo train, and he has, I can confirm, Ben, he has made it.
Yeah.
He bought it in yesterday, and producer Rami hid it because I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now here's the thing, mate. I'm going to play you just a little bit of audio, right? I teased this yesterday. This was part of my night the other night making the cake. I kicked things off around about 7:45, all right? Have a listen to this. I was given a $50 budget, and I'm happy to report $97 later, we are ready to go.
What are you doing?
I'm making a cake.
No.
How do I make Vienna cream chat GPT? What? Yes, it's a choo-choo train. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's meant to look like that. I have no idea. So that was part of my night making the cake.
I love the chainsaw or whatever was going.
That's what I said. I was like, I hear a power tool in there. Was that an angle grinder? I didn't know what was going on. He told me it's a circular saw. Why are you using a circular saw to cut sponge cake?
I love the question from your daughter.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, from Ollie.
We'll come back in just a few minutes and I will explain what the circular saw was for.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
It's the competition giving new meaning to... Oh, that's easy. It's a piece of cake. It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. Cake Off.
I cannot wait, Pete. We are moments away from producer Rami wheeling in your cake. You have made the Choo-Choo train cake from the Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cake Book, and you are the first one to do it because, Ben, you and I are not far away from making cakes in the coming weeks.
We're on the cusp.
On the cusp.
Yeah.
All right, now here's what we're going to do, right? So I was covering everything the other night. So I'll set the scene. It was at home. The kids were home. We'd had Mila's birthday during the day, so I could only get started late at night. So it was like 8 o'clock when I got started. I was already tired, and the kids were overtired. All right? Now...
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and it all sounds a bit like meow, 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 meow.
Shush. You shush you.
These sound like excuses.
I put a lot of effort into this cake.
Is your cake good or is it not?
All I want to know is, was Teresa in the house?
No, Mama Tear, my mum, was not in the house. Although she was there earlier and she did offer to hang around, but I said
I'd like
no.
to put you on a polygraph.
I said no.
I would like to put you on a polygraph,
I
mate,
tell you
to
what,
be honest.
Well, wait, let's see what the cake looks like. If the cake
We'll
is
know.
good,
We'll know.
know.
Exactly.
We will
It's
know.
rubbish.
Go on, fair call.
Here is audio of what happened the other night when I was making this cake.
Is this right? Will that turn into cream at some point or what? Is this? I don't think this is right.
Oh my God. Okay, so progress report. I've got the red carriage, the green carriage, purple, and the yellow carriage done. It's a bit of a mess, I'm not going to lie.
Whoa, I did that one time, the little baby.
I don't understand what you just said.
No.
And we're going...
I didn't do it.
And we're going with blue. So here...
What are you doing?
That's my favourite bit.
No. If you ever attempt this yourself, don't use food glue.
Okay, so I think I've worked this out. I got rid of the glue and instead I spiked the popcorn, and after lots of broken popcorn, that's the smoke and the wind's going like that, and I don't give a stuff anymore.
Okay.
Right.
It sounded like a lot going on.
There was a lot going
I
on.
like how you've thought. I can either use Lisa's cooking utensils or I can just go straight out to the shed and bring in my tools.
Also,
and get the job done the same way.
The fact you said, I don't think I should have used food glue. I was having flashbacks to you at the Masters Regatta using soluble glue in our water boat, and that is why we went under.
I didn't realise there were so many elements to this cake. And you meant to make the smoke coming out of the chimney out of coloured popcorn, and you meant to, like, somehow put it on a pipe cleaner. I didn't have the blah, blah, blah.
There's
Anyway,
too many excuses. Bring in this cake. I want to see the
All right.
absolute magic that is the Choo-Choo train from the Australian Women's Weekly birthday cake book.
I need you to do me a favour. I need you to both not look at the cake coming in. I need you to look at the cake in front of you, because you've got the perfect picture.
I've got the book in front of me. I know what this is exactly meant to look
The
like.
cake is coming around.
Here. It's right here.
All right.
Yep.
The producer Rami's placing the cake down in between yourself and Ben.
When can I look?
3, 2, 1, look.
Oh my God, I was expecting so much better than that.
I know.
Oh, wow.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so
Oh my
embarrassed.
God, Pete, it looks...
It's
a
horrific.
mess. It's an absolute mess. Some of these carts at the back didn't turn out too bad. I would say my feedback would be that the reason this looks so bad is because your icing looks rubbish.
That's not the only reason.
It's the icing, isn't it, Ben?
Well, I'm still in the hunt, I reckon. I think all of a sudden, I think. But
Ben, what did you just say to me off air when Pete left the room and you mentioned the icing? You said one of the tricks to this.
You've got to get the icing smooth and consistent, don't you?
That's
if you
what he
do that,
said.
it's pretty hard to stuff
He
up.
said,
but
I don't reckon he could go too wrong as long as he gets the icing right.
What
And
happened
I think
at the
that's
front?
where we've gone wrong.
What happened at the front? The front choo-choo train?
Did you do that early or late?
I did that
No,
late.
its nose has fallen off. It's missing the whole front half.
So the front half. What do you mean it's missing the front half?
Look at that.
Yeah. That was an
Like
accident.
that whole bit where it's broken off
Yeah.
entirely.
So
and
the
there's a whole
back
piece
of the
cake
train,
missing.
there's a vertical piece of cake that sits on the back of the train to make it look like the high part of the carriage. That broke within the first 30 minutes of the cake bake.
Oh, look, I've just realised you've gone to the trouble of putting pop sticks down to make a track.
I know. I tried hard.
You know what? Actually, my heart's breaking a little. I know I laughed at it, but now my heart's breaking because I realise
it's not a bad effort. It's not a bad effort.
that you've put so much effort in, and it's so rubbish.
Oh my God!
I can see how much time you've spent on it, but it's
mate.
still
No,
rubbish.
I get it. Thanks.
I feel bad
it's rubbish.
for you.
I feel bad for me too. You don't need to bloody layer it on.
You couldn't present that to one of your children.
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that. My kid said to me, "Oh my goodness, can you make that for our birthday next year?" And I like it.
Have this one.
By the way, we have thrown the video of the reveal. It is on Instagram right now. So at Pete Kymba Ben.
I tell you, it
Go
needs to
there.
be a video. A photo can't capture it.
Okay, mate. Well, good luck for you next week.
All right. What about the popcorn? Did you think the popcorn, does that help?
I'll explain off the air.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
A life well lived is full of a bunch of crazy nonsense. So now on Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins, it's story time with Ben Cousins.
You ready, Ben? We love a story from you. I'm looking forward to the day I pull something out of the bucket and you go, I'm not telling that story.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Bucket full of stories.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Shovel ready?
Shovel's always ready, Ben. Always.
Ben, tell us a story about an outfit you never wanted to wear.
This is an easy one because it is still fresh in my mind now that the dancing show is back on this year's
Dancing
season.
with
But
the
this
Stars.
time last
Yeah,
year,
right.
almost to the week. So we all know, I had my hands full with the dancing part of it. I didn't need anything else to contend with. But week one, wardrobe saw me coming a mile off. So I had to wear this suit. The colour, the material, the fabric, the cut, everything.
Did you wear a little light blue number?
It was a
that
blue
it?
/ purple. Yeah,
I remember it.
I wouldn't, in hindsight, wear it crabbing. I wouldn't. And I'd like to say that my problem started and finished with the suit, but we know that it was bigger than that.
Oh, the one with the tie.
There was a tie involved, but it was bad.
Just not a fan of
It
the
was
polyester.
horrific.
Not even
it
a good
was
fit.
thick, terrible fit. it sort of sat on a funny angle on my shoulders, which was... I had trouble with the frame and all that, but that with the suit.
Did you push back, though? Did you say to them,
this is the
I
thing.
don't want to wear this?
This is the thing. I probably knew that it wasn't a great suit, but it was my first dance on the show, and I didn't feel it enough to push back.
Right, okay.
But, you know...
you didn't try to pull the don't
in
you know
hindsight,
who I am?
I wouldn't have. I just can't believe I let it happen. It's still so when the show finished, and I on my Instagram I put this long reel out and thanking everybody attached to the show. I made a point of saying I'd like to thank Wardrobe after week 1 for what they did for us, but before that, it really.
We're going searching for those photos now and probably sharing them all over our socials.
We don't have to go searching.
You won't have to search too far.
Oh, it's already been done.
We've found the photo.
Oh, that's not the suit I was thinking
That's
of.
not the suit. That's not
that bad.
Is that the one you're talking about, Benny? Is that the
bad.
suit?
That's it.
That's the one.
Not that bad.
Oh,
bad.
I'd argue that's bad. We're putting that on at Pete Kymba Ben on
I'm
our
not sure
socials
about
and
my
Instagram.
posture there too, either.
Yeah, your posture. It looks like the neckline where the tie is looks like it's trying to eat your head. And your facial expression looks like
you'd had that night. I wish you'd had, to be honest.
Oh, I actually remember because Pete had a go at you about your dance on week 1, and he said that you had a neck issue. So are you now saying that the neck issue and the reason you couldn't move your neck is because of the suit?
Oh, what I'm saying is I don't think it started and finished with the suit, but I don't think the suit was doing me any favours. That's what I will say. Now, I don't want to give a spoiler alert, but I have heard through reliable sources that the exact suit may feature in this season of Dancing with the Stars. So whoever falls into that suit again...
Well, it's got to be someone of your frame, your size.
Someone else falls into it.
Too hard to work it out.
It's a Daily Mail headline if ever I've heard of it. That one.
Osher Ginsburg. Harry Garside.
It'd be Osher. It'd have
Trent
to be Osher.
Cotchin.
Well, no, and it
Trent,
could
maybe.
even be one of the dancers. It
Right.
could even be. So you would think that they wouldn't fall for it, but that's what I'm told.
Apparently the video's worse than the photo.
Oh, good. So you got the video up.
That's good. What a relief.
Yeah, we've put it online. Right, so at Pete Kymba Ben on Instagram, you can go and check it out.
It's Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins.
Now that it's Friday before we go away, the producers are here for one final say to reflect on the week, the great and the crap, to bring you something they call the producer wrap.
Producer Rami, producer Brooke joining us
Good morning.
for our report card this week.
For a Friday wrap-up.
What are you doing today?
Why?
Because you just put on a face.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I look beautiful every day.
The
babe.
hijacking.
Hang on. I'm not saying.
Now, Mum, Dad.
I won't have a bar of it.
I didn't say that you don't look beautiful every day. But it's just you put on a face. What's going on?
You're suggesting that I only put on a face and that I put on a face for other people and not for you guys.
Seriously though, Kymba, what have you got on today?
I'm not
Just
talking-
answer the question.
I'm not talking to any of you. It's
Oh,
so
God.
rude.
All right.
It's so rude.
Okay. Well, producer wrap. Firstly, we had a big week. A lot of guests came to play. We had Julia Morris on the show. We had Carl Stefanovic. And we had Lynn McGranger. All right? Now, Lynn McGranger, she joined us yesterday morning. And I've got to say, she was a highlight of the week for me because she came to play hard. So we played the Wheel of Inappropriate Questions. And if there was ever a guest we should play the wheel, it was with her. We started off with this question.
Lynn, news.com.au reports that you get paid $350,000 per episode of Home and Away. There are 230 episodes per season and there are 33 seasons. Can you confirm that you have been paid $2,656,500,000 during your time on the show?
Is that before or after tax?
I mean, that was a great question.
I love Lynn.
That was a great question because you always see these being reported, on articles, and you're always like, I don't think that's right. So
It's funny you say you love Lynn McGranger, Ben, because at the end of the interview, she said to producer Rami, "Please tell Benny I love him."
Oh, she's a champion.
Sweetheart. Hey, that wasn't the only question we asked, by the way. We did our famous fire, shag, marry.
You need to tell us who you would fire, who you would shag, and who you would marry out of Alf Stewart, Harold Bishop from Neighbours, and Principal Donald Fisher from Home and Away.
Oh, dear God in heaven. Okay.
If you want to hear where she placed those people, you can hit up on the podcast on Listener.
It was a surprising mix.
Yes, and Carl Stefanovic was in our great state this week, but I don't know if he'll be invited back. He was a little bit naughty, Carl, and he gave us a little bit of info that maybe he shouldn't have.
I'm in Perth. You can hear the police chasing me. Last time I was here, I nearly got arrested for hooliganism. So I'm grateful that I've been able to do my show thus far.
What kind of hooligan at the time were you, Carl?
Yeah, just go to the buffet at Crown and do a runner without paying. Nothing too major.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Excuse me? No, come on. Serious?
And also, you must know how hard it is to run after you've had the buffet here.
After that, Pete and I got off air and we were chatting and we went, how long has it been then since Carl Stefanovic has been to our great state of WA? Because if it's been anything in the last 20 years, he absolutely could have afforded to pay for the buffet.
Of course.
And if either he hasn't been here for ages or he is dodgy as.
Yeah. I'd go with he's dodgy as. And also, if we're talking money, it's Crown. They absolutely could have afforded for him to do a runner. So,
we love you, Crown. We love you, Crown.
I'm not saying do a runner.
All right, it's the weekend. Let's wrap this up.
Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins. 6 to 9 weekdays. You can't miss Pete and Kymba with Ben Cousins, and you can't miss with whatif.com. With loads of accommodation across Australia, plus flights and more. Book your trip at whatif.com or download the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel.